My neck hurts. Does your neck hurt? I think I just got whiplash. That's right. It's going to be that kind of show. So get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like, please subscribe, share on social media. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, now Matt Gaetz, Representative Matt Gaetz, just released an amazing statement saying that Mike Rogers, the lovely Mike Rogers, actually supports UFO disclosure. Now, Mike is one of the two Mikes that seem to be trying to kill the Schumer-Rounds Amendment. So how can this be possible? Well, let's read Matt Gaetz' statement. Per Twitter, or X. I'm never going to call it X. X is stupid. Americans have long been kept in the dark by the U.S. government about U.A.P. The time for transparency is now. We don't want the information in small bits and pieces over 25 years. Okay, I can see that. The NDAA passed by the House includes an amendment by Representative Tim Burchett, which mandates the Department of Defense to declassify the military's knowledge of the UAPs within 180 days of the NDAA's enactment. Wow, let's just absorb that for a moment. We're going to have UFO, per this amendment, we would have UFO disclosure, everything the DOD knows and has within half a year of this act passing, right? That's crazy. This proposal is currently the most effective way to expose what the DOD is hiding. Instead, Senator Schumer is trying to jam his amendment through the NDAA conference that would establish a commission akin to the decades-long JFK investigation. Under the commission, it would take up to 25 years to declassify documents and records related to UAPs. This is unacceptable. Thankfully, Representative Mike Rogers has been an ally in the efforts to expedite the disclosure of information on UAPs and to hold the House position. So, yeah, again, my neck is hurting me there. Okay, I was all set to hate Mike Rogers. Now Matt Gaetz is telling us to love Mike Rogers. Which is it? What's going on here? Now, Matt Gaetz is an interesting figure in politics. Obviously a Republican, but one who has not been afraid to challenge authority within his own party. He's the one that led the ouster of the previous Speaker of the House, Mike Turner, who also is an opponent of the Schumer-Rounds Amendment. So are they going to tell us next that Mike Turner is actually supporting UFO disclosure by being against the Schumer-Rounds Amendment? I'm trying to wrap my head around all this. But let's just revel in the moment. Let's just revel in the idea, the surface level of this tweet, that the Democrats and Republicans are warring over who gets credit for UFO disclosure. Let's just enjoy the idea, the crazy idea that UFOs have become so hot and so cool and, mainstream acceptable that they are now jockeying for position on who gets credit for UFO disclosure. That's kind of a funny idea, right? Really, have we come that far? I don't think we've gone that far. I really don't. But so what is going on? Is there actually, so Tim Burchett apparently wrote an amendment, and this, is something, I didn't know that Tim wrote it, but I have heard there were additional items in the NDAA other than the Schumer-Rounds Amendment talking about UFO disclosure. So I guess this is one of those items. Did Tim write this in response to the Schumer-Rounds Amendment because he was not happy with that amendment, or did he write it before? I don't know. I don't have any information on Tim's particular amendment. Some are saying it was sloppily written like a placeholder for a bigger amendment to come. Of course, some are, turning this into a partisan thing, saying, oh, well, it's the Republicans' saving face. Anything's possible, right? But, again, Matt Gaetz, as, is almost kind of an anti-establishment figure, I guess you could say, having ousted the previous speaker. He's not like super comfortable with the establishment Republicans, although more so than Tim Burchett. But could this be an olive branch that Matt is throwing to the establishment via, Mike Rogers? Is this him trying to reconcile with the establishment in some way? I guess that is also possible. I mean, looking at this from a more political angle. But, just on the surface of it, I like the idea of UFO disclosure within 180 days. I mean, that's a great idea, right? Rip that Band-Aid off. Is that possible? Is that feasible? Is that reasonable to expect? Probably not. Would it be a good thing? Would that be catastrophic disclosure, as Carl Nell was calling it at the Soul Foundation? And that seemed to be the buzzword of the weekend at the Soul Foundation, was avoiding catastrophic disclosure. And that's something that Bob Bigelow was talking to James Fox about years ago. He had seen studies done showing how disastrous disclosure could be. I don't think he used the word catastrophic disclosure, but that was the gist of what he was trying to tell James Fox. And, I get it. I can understand how that could be a destabilizing influence on society. On the other hand, maybe we need the Band-Aid ripped off. But that's easy for me to say. I had a few years to absorb this and to pace myself and to do my own research and go at my own pace, which was obsessive. But I did have the luxury of being able to pace myself. Whereas if this was all dumped on me, back in 2017, if it hadn't been my own choice to educate myself on this, then, I can understand, I will say that it was freaky for me at first. It really was. I mean, they're taking us, guys. I mean, the beings are taking people, and there's not much we can do to stop it. Oh, and by the way, the control group, the part of the government, is helping them do that. The truths that will be revealed by this are not necessarily comfortable truths. And I can totally see how that could unnerve people and cause some unrest. Is that what they're really worried about? Or is it more of a money thing, a power thing? This could destabilize the energy industry, for example, or religious structures. Now, UFOs, the study of UFOs, led me to spirituality. David Grush has talked about the confluence of the spiritual in the UFO. So I think that UFO disclosure is also spiritual disclosure once you are able to see the bigger picture and know more of the details. Because that's where it goes, is this metaphysical consciousness stuff, right? That is other dimensional, whatever you want to call it. That is where a lot of this stuff goes. It's not just nuts and bolts craft with little green men from Mars. It's much more complicated and interesting than that. Although, I mean, that's interesting enough. I write science fiction. That's pretty juicy. But, so there's a lot there that could be, destabilizing. But I also think there's a lot there that could help people, And so I am really, really split as to whether I favor ripping the Band-Aid off or peeling it off slowly. But I've got to admit, I do like the idea of 180 days disclosure, boom, get it done. Let me know what you guys think, if it should be done more slowly over a 10-year period as proposed by the people that were speaking at the Soul Foundation, which, I can understand the logic of that too. I don't like the idea of, it taking 25 years to declassify some of these documents. That does rub me the wrong way. There are elements of the Schumer Rounds Amendment that I really don't like. It seems to establish a lot of filters between us and the truth, and I don't like that. But again, it is a robust legislation that has a lot in it, and if passed in its full form, would give whatever body is created the gatekeeping committee or, whatever other body is created, the power of eminent domain over UFOs, the ability to go out and seize this stuff. Would the Tim Burchett Amendment do that as well? I don't know. I don't have the details of the Tim Burchett UFO Amendment. Here's all I could find. This is from the burchett.house.gov. U.A.P. declassification requires the Department of Defense to declassify any documents and records relating to publicly known sightings of unidentified aerial phenomena that do not compromise the national security of the United States. Of course, as we know, they have a very broad definition of what violates national security, right? So, there's definitely some wiggle room there. I don't see anything in here that provides eminent domain necessarily. So the Tim Burchett Amendment is very bare bones from what I can see, but very direct. The DoD to release all UFO information within 180 days, as long as it doesn't violate national security, right? Of course, probably anything is going to violate national security if they wanted to. Versus the Schumer-Rounds Amendment, which will very slowly reveal this stuff to us and will, again, establish this JFK style, body to slowly declassify this information over 25 years. So, let me know which you prefer and what you think is really going on with this statement by Matt Gaetz, saying that Mike Rogers has been an ally of UFO Disclosure and is supporting the Tim Burchett version of ripping the Band-Aid off right away. And that is what the fight is in Congress right now, in the House, over UFO disclosure. It's not about, should we have it? It's about whether we should have it quickly or slowly. At least that's the story. That's what they're putting out there for us. Is that the case? Is that the case? I don't know. I don't know, guys. But it would be lovely to think that that is the case, that the politicians in Washington are actively fighting over the speed at which to perform UFO disclosure. Wouldn't that be nice? But time will tell. Let me know what you think, guys. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure appreciate it. Smash the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future videos. Join me on social media, Facebook and Twitter, links below. Also a Discord server link if it's still active. I think it is. Also, if you wanted to support Cosmic Road in an even bigger way, and I know you guys do, you can get your own coffee mug or your t-shirt. See the merch store below. Or you can become a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you. Meanwhile, there's plenty of other videos to check out on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.